All right, good morning, everyone. Bonjour, welcome, Gui. Happy to have all of you here for our community connection. My name is Carol Spicer with Spicer Facilitation, and I believe I know all of you. So thank you so much for coming back. The community connection is really about bringing folks in the not-for-profit sector together, talk about challenges, successes, promote your not-for-profits, and let folks know who you are and what you are. So whether you sit on a board, whether you volunteer, whether you work for one, or whether you support one in different ways, then this is an opportunity for us to come together. Probably about 75% of my clients are in the not-for-profit sector. And what I started to hear was a lot of the similar things. People don't know exactly what we do. I don't know how to get volunteers. We're not really professional fundraisers. All sort of the same challenges. And in some cases, people are actually dealing with the same client base. So the same people in the community, whether it's from a mental health perspective or an employment perspective. So I thought this was a nice opportunity to provide folks an opportunity to come together. And I've seen people pick up volunteers for an event through one of these discussions, or just promote that things are happening. I know we had someone from Association for New Canadians on, and someone else who was looking for translators. And so, we ended up making some connections and things. So that's really what the community connection is all about. And recently, Community Sector Council relaunched, rebranded. I drove to Gander to spend the afternoon with them in a movie theater in the airport, which was like the coolest thing. Sitting at 3 o'clock in the afternoon in the movie theater eating popcorn. I said, this is work. This is kind of cool. And so when I had an opportunity to connect with all the fine folks at the Community Sector Council, I thought, what a great opportunity as we sort of took our break over the summer to have someone come in. And Tiffany has graciously agreed to come on board and be our guest today. So I'll give her a moment. In a moment, she'll introduce herself, but I thought I'd run down through and ask you folks online to let her know who you are. And then she's going to take us through a little bit more about what the Community Sector Council is and what they can possibly do for us. So I'm going to go by virtue of how you look on camera on my screen. So Linda, you're up first, and then it's going to be Murray.
Hey, hi, my name is Linda Spingle, and I work with Study and Stay NL, which is a program for international students in their final year at MUN or CNA. And it's to help them make the transition from student to professional. So this year, the first cohort started in 2019. We're now into cohort 7, and this year we have 138 students in our program. So we're very excited about the year ahead, and we just launched our program at the end of October. So Study and Stay NL falls under IENL, which is International Education Newfoundland and Labrador. So I do sit on the board as the secretary for that as well.
Excellent. Awesome. Murray is up, and then Kelly.
Hi there. My name is Murray Sampson, and I run user-friendly website design. I make websites for nonprofits as well as for business, which is why I like, showing up here and understanding people's issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I live here in Corner Brook. Moved back from the UK in 2021. So I'm it's so nice to still actually be exploring everything here too.
Yeah, excellent. Murray was was my first international connection on one of these virtual events. She joined us from England before she moved back. So we were thinking we were pretty cool to be able to say, hey, we've gone international. But we're so happy to have you back in the province. Kelly, you're up next.
I'm Kelly Lannon, and I wear 2 hats. My first hat is with WRDC, Women in Resource Development Corporation, and we work with women and gender diverse individuals to forge career paths, I guess is the best way to say it. And my second hat is I am soft launching my Bees Knees event planning business. So I'm looking at doing events, and not so much weddings, but other types of events and fundraisers, and I can help out all the not-for-profits because I've lived that life for the last 25 years.
Excellent. Thank you. All right, Tiffany, I'll turn it over to you to introduce yourself and let folks know where you are, and we'll follow through your presentation. Oh, and hang
Excellent.
on. Andrew's just joining. I'm going to let Andrew say hello. Bonjour, mon ami.
Bonjour.
We're just wrapping up introductions, so say a quick hello and let folks know who you are.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Andrew Hibbets. I'm an economic development officer for the west coast of the island with Horizon TNL, formerly known as REDE TNL, which is Newfoundland and Labrador's bilingual economic development organization. And I won't say much more, but I'll just say that our mandate kind of relates to, or not kind of, relates to entrepreneurship, employability, tourism, and immigration.
Excellent. Thank you. Glad you could join us. So
Yep.
we're just shifting over to Tiffany from Community Sector Council. She's just going to kick things off. So you're just in time.
Can everyone hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah, good. Okay. So hi, everyone. I'm Tiffany Drover. I work with the Community Sector Council. I'm actually in the exploits region right now. So my office is located in Grand Falls, Windsor. I'm the regional network facilitator in the exploits region, and I'm going to give you an overview of everything that we do. So let's see. Get this started. So the community sector, first of all, plays an enormous role in social and economic progress and well-being in our province. A distinguishing feature of the community sector is that its labor market development and paid employment creation is driven by unpaid labor, because all nonprofits and social purpose groups are under the domain of organizations which must be governed by a volunteer board of directors. Unpaid laborers, volunteers. Therefore, in order to strengthen economic growth and advancement efforts, must focus on both the paid and unpaid labor force. To help support organizations across Newfoundland, CSCNL has engaged regional network facilitators like myself. Currently based in the Burin Peninsula, the Exploits region, and the Avalon, facilitators are currently working in collaboration with nonprofit organizations to identify skills development and labor market issues to advance the nonprofit sector's capacity for social and economic growth. Did everybody see this? I think it's skipping ahead a little bit. So the project itself is a pilot project called Tapping the Untapped Potential. This is a pilot project that goes up until March 2024. The idea of the project is to identify skills development and labor market issues for the paid and unpaid labor force. We provide one-on-one support to nonprofit organizations. We identify skills gaps and assist organizations in filling those gaps. We assist with funding applications, volunteer engagement, recruitment, and retention, and we advance nonprofit sector's capacity for social and economic growth. So some of the types of supports we offer are assistance with funding applications. That includes grant applications and proposals, assistance with creating Facebook pages, Twitter pages, social media, how to post, how to get the best social media engagement, how to create ads and things like that. We help with partnering with events, so attending, supporting, and participating in partner events, such as National Volunteer Week. We do community coffee breaks and networking events. I recently did a job and volunteer fair, and I also helped out with the town of Grand Falls, Windsor's senior wellness event. So we do all kinds of things to partner with nonprofit organizations to assist in these type of things. So some more of the watching for funding opportunities and communicating those via social media, connecting volunteers and organizations, highlighting organizations through sector snapshots, and providing training on upskilling on a number of topics are some more of the supports that we offer as well. So when it comes to upskilling topics, we offer a number of upskilling and training sessions. These sessions include proposal writing, so we'll give tips for funding applications and proposal writing, like I said, Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, things like that. So tips and best practices for small nonprofits to get the most engagement on social media. Being on board, so the roles and responsibilities of board members and board governance. So I actually just had Bettina Ford from Community Sector Council in Gander come to Grand Falls, and she facilitated a really good board governance session, and it was really good. Everybody had really enjoyed it and learned a lot. So that's a really good one. And we help recruit and retain volunteers. We help explain, best practices for recruiting volunteers and the retention of volunteers. So we kind of do a little bit of everything. As for the funding and application proposal writing, we will give tips and best practices. We do an introductory step-by-step approach. So if you haven't written proposals before, we can help you right from the ground level, teach you how to be prepared, talk about the commonly required documents and how to store them, where to look for funding opportunities. We provide handouts like tip sheets and checklists, all kinds of things. We'll give you templates and suggested reading materials and anything that you could need to help yourself best write your proposals and funding applications. As for the Facebook upskilling training that we do, I like to call it a social media upskilling because we do focus on other things besides Facebook. We have a top 10 tips for small nonprofits. So this will give you the best tips and practices, make the best of your Facebook page, geared towards small nonprofits with limited staff and resources, how to leverage your Facebook without purchasing ads, give you free resource slides with links, handouts, tip sheets, slide decks, digital storytelling, and we'll give you a certificate of completion at the end as well. As for the volunteering upskilling session, helping yourself while helping others, we provide information on the benefits of volunteerism, resume building, skills development, and like I said, recruitment and retention as well, and the importance and how to best recruit and then retain volunteers. Being on board, the roles and responsibilities of board members. So like I said, it kind of touches on board governance. It explores the duties of board members in detail and provides tips and resources on being an effective, engaged board member. It talks about why boards exist, board and staff relations, tips on planning and holding effective meetings, the importance of understanding bylaws and policies, and the statutory duties as employers. So that's a really good one as well. They all are fantastic. So the participants of our upskilling events are typically seniors groups and clubs, youth, college students, employment or pre-employment programs, service clubs, high school students, tourism associations, the list goes on. This includes paid staff, unpaid staff, and volunteers, board members, committee members, program participants, and association and club members. So in this photo here is Bettina actually delivering an effective governance session with the board of the International Lounge Foundation in Gander. So they did their board governance session at Port Rexton, and as you can see, everybody looks like they enjoyed it. So a quote from one of our members on the board of directors, the Community Sector Council immediately offered encouragement and help with attracting new members and volunteers and has remained steadily involved. And I can say that's true. We will stay involved from the beginning to the end. We're very dedicated to helping any way we can and assisting any way we can. And we like to follow up and continue that relationship as time goes on. Some sector snapshots. So highlighting the community sector in 1 to 3 minute videos. I don't think I'm going to get the video to work, but you can tell me. So they highlight the community sector in 1 to 3 minute videos, and I'm going to play it now. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
Can you hear it?
No.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's just a little example of our sector snapshots that we can help you with. So they highlight the community sector. They're usually 1 to 3 minute videos on like maybe volunteerism in your area or a nonprofit or an event that's taking place. You can connect with us. We can help you decide on a video concept and theme. Um, yeah, we'll meet up or via Zoom or in person and get some short video clips and photos. We'll take care of the editing and then you can approve your video and go from there. So we offer those as well. Moving forward, I'd love to connect. Feel free to reach out to me at any time. I'll have my contact information on the next slide. If your organization is interested in any training and upskilling partnerships or any support, assistance with volunteer recruitment and retention or anything like that, I can provide help. Or if you're in another region, I can direct you to the appropriate person for that. I'd love to help and thanks so much. I know this was a short little presentation, but thank you so much for letting me share what we do. And this is, oh, that's not my information. Sorry, I thought I changed that. So I will send Carol my information and she can.
You can
Go ahead.
pop it in chat too, Tiffany.
Oh yeah, that's what I'll do. Perfect.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can connect anytime. And if if I'm not in your region, I'll find someone in your region who can assist you.
Yeah. So currently, the Western facilitator is vacant. So I'm assuming, Tiffany, that a few of you will be picking up queries until that person's replaced, right?
Absolutely. Yes. We'll
Yeah.
help any way we can for sure.
Okay. So like I got about 97 questions in my head, but I'm going to go to everyone online first. Because there's a few things you said there that I had no idea about. So anyone have any questions for Tiffany? You can use chat or raise your hand, whichever is easiest for you.
I'm just curious, in a couple of slides, you mentioned Patina. So who
Yes.
is Patina?
Bettina, she is our manager of capacity building for the Community Sector Council. She's located in Gander right now, but she travels around the province as much as she can to assist with any sort of upskilling or training event or anything like that. She's awesome. And I'm sure that most people will have known some of the things that she's done if I started listing some of the many things that she's been involved in for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, so I've got a few questions. The training opportunities, are they in person or are they virtual?
They can be both. So we will travel within our regions to provide these sessions. And Bettina will sometimes, as mentioned, travel out as well for these, like some of the ones that she has a lot of experience with. But we will offer them digitally as well, virtually as well, so that people who can't travel within the regions, or maybe there's one being offered in a region, but not in another region right now, so other people can kind of join in as well. So both, whatever people need, we'll kind of work with.
So will you do them dedicated for a group or do you do them with a mixed group or both?
Both. So if there is a specific group that's looking for, say, a board governance being on board session, we will do one for that specific group. But for example, the one that I just held here in Grand Falls, Windsor was open to any nonprofit or volunteer who wanted to attend. So it really, again, just depends on what the people are looking for.
Okay. And how long are the training sessions normally?
It's typically about 3 hours for the being on board session. Depends on the training session, but we try not to make them too long and like we don't want them to become cumbersome or anything like that. So usually about 3 hours, I would say. Sometimes they can take up to a day, but usually it's about a day, 3 hours to a day. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Proposals and grants. I had no idea that you could help folks with that. I thought that that was a big light bulb moment for me. So if somebody sees something coming across their table, Samantha wasn't able to attend today, but the the credit union just had one recently, and I had a couple of my board members try to fill out their application for a community grant. And then I was looking at it. So how would that actually work, Tiffany? If we saw a grant come across that we thought our organization was good for, could we reach out and then like we give you what we think we put in, or how does that work?
Absolutely. So it's again whatever you need. So it's really a case by case basis. But yes, if you see a grant come across your desk and you want some extra information on it or how to best complete it or just to complete it together, even whatever you need, again, we'll do it. We'll help you write that. We'll also provide training then during that time as well, so that like next time you kind of have a better idea of how to do it, or we can help you every time you need assistance with the grant. But yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So Linda.
In regards to funding opportunities, do you guys do like sessions just devoted to this is everything that's out there that nonprofits can look at?
We do actually have a website right now, CSC and csc.ca, that lists a lot of the opportunities that we see come through. We try to keep that updated so that people can check to that regularly and refer to that. We'll often post on our Facebook page as well about funding opportunities that are available. If someone were to want assistance with seeking out those opportunities, we would provide that as assistance with that as well to help people better be better equipped in how to find those opportunities for themselves as well. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it, Linda, on their website, it's cscnl.ca. Under our sector, there's actually a funding opportunities page. I'm seeing some things I've never seen before.
Yeah, we try to keep it pretty updated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. So I believe there's CSC Facebook, for instance, that's where I usually spend my social media time. But then each region has their own as well. So just for guests to know that, there's a Western region, there's an exploit region, there's a Burin region page as well. So for something that's a little bit more specific. So if you haven't followed those, then you may want to.
Yeah. And we'll often like share each other's as well, because it's just good to know what's going on in the province as a whole as well. There might be something taking place in Burin that you'd like to travel to that you wouldn't be aware of. So following all of them kind of gives you an idea of what's going on around the province as well, in case something strikes you and you'd like to travel to attend something as well. Or it might be virtual and you might be able to take part as well in that.
Yeah, and I know you've got a directory on your website, because after my visit in Gander, I went on to see if we were on there, the not-for-profit that I'm with,
Yeah.
and we weren't, so I got added.
Oh, good. Okay.
I think I got added. I'll have to double check that now.
I'll
I
make
asked to
sure.
be added anyway. So it might be, you could contact CSCNL if you're not listed in their directory, to be added onto their website. So part of their relaunch that they just did is the new brand, which is all these colors and vibrant there. But also their website is much more user friendly than it used to be. So if you haven't been on their website before or recently, you'll see a huge change. And I
Yeah,
believe Colin said to me too, as well, Tiffany, if people want to send their events to you guys, they'll put them on your page.
absolutely. So anything that you want us to promote within your organization, we're happy to do so. Colin, I don't know if everyone is aware, is the CEO of Community Sector Council. He joined us, I guess, almost a year ago, after Penny Rowe retired after a great run with Community Sector Council. So Colin came on and we did our rebrand. So that's why we have this new website and this new colorful layout, as Carol said. So yeah, Colin Corcoran is our new CEO now.
Awesome. I've listened to Colin speak a few times, and the thing that strikes me the most when he starts talking about this sector, um, not the community sector is the fifth largest employer in the province. There's 300 or there's 3,000 registered not-for-profits, and they anticipate there's another 3,000 that aren't registered. So that's a huge number of people working in the sector or volunteering or supporting the sector. So that struck me at the presentation in Gander when he brought that up.
Yeah. Yeah. Very interesting.
All right. Any other questions from the folks? Short and sweet. Anything going on that you folks want to share? So I had you all do an intro, but I'm thinking, Linda, maybe this is a pitch for you to get some mentors.
I was just about to unmute and say that, Carol. Thank you.
Tiffany, just before you do, Linda, Tiffany, if you want to stop your presentation, you can.
Oh, yeah.
We'll just do informal chat now. So Linda, tell us a bit more about your program.
So as I said in my intro, we have 138 students this year. So part of our program is we offer a mentorship option for students. Now they do have to apply for it. I think last year we had about 50 students in the mentorship program, and I expect it'll be about the same this year. So, well, maybe a bit more at the beginning who apply, but we really have to, we don't have a lot of mentors. So, you know, we have to make sure that the students that we choose to give mentors to are committed to that extra time. So we're always looking for mentors in every industry.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll probably reach out to you about that, maybe to help us promote that on your
Awesome.
Facebook page. But yeah, so I have most of the students are in St. John's because obviously MUN is the bigger campus, but we do have 12 students on the West Coast. So I am looking on the West Coast for mentors as well. But it doesn't, they don't have to live in the same town as the students, right? So we could have, you know, a mentor. Well, actually, Carol, I think last year her student was in St. John's, but yeah, so we try and match them up based on what their needs are, what their industry is, and what they're looking for, and what the mentor can offer as well. So yeah, so we're definitely looking for a lot of mentors coming up. I'd say we'll, you know, the end of November, we'll be starting reaching out to people, and it'll start the end of January or February, the mentorship program. And it's just 1 hour a month is what we expect from the mentors, right?
Excellent. That sounds great.
Yeah.
It's very rewarding, I can tell you that.
I bet.
I've been, what was it, 3 years, I think, Linda, I've been a mentor with you folks. I resisted Linda for a year, then she got me. She kept asking. But it is really rewarding. It's for me, it's to hear from where, you know, learn about different parts of the world of where people have come from, you know, to hear about their experience. Also just, I never thought I had a lot to offer. And all of a sudden it's, you know, you realize that it's not always about textbook stuff. It's not always about, you know, hard and fast rules of business or anything like that. I've actually found that in my experience, especially with my first student that I had, it was just giving them some mental health support and giving them, you know, someone safe to kind of talk to and you know, of course, first year was during COVID as well. So my student was pretty isolated and, you know, feeling lonely and that kind of thing. So sometimes it's just being a little bit of encouragement, much like we do when we all get together, either in these sessions or in the entrepreneur session. You know, I remember talking to somebody recently about a mentoring group, and they said, I don't know, I just feel like every month I go and whine. I said, yeah, but sometimes that's what you need, is just to be able to whine in a safe space and somebody else is your cheerleader. And I'm not talking wine drinking, I'm talking, you know, the wham whining, but you know, it's sometimes just really nice to have somebody just that you could bounce something off of in a safe space. And that's what I've really enjoyed about connecting with the students, is kind of giving them that safe space. I've also been fortunate that Linda and Hillary, her colleague, have asked me to do a couple presentations to the groups as part of their training stuff as well. So that's always been a fun thing to do. It's a little, they have little coffee break ideas as well with little nuggets of info. So
Cool. That sounds like a great program. Yeah, really rewarding, like you said, and great for everybody. It goes both ways there, I feel, for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Excellent. Thank you, Linda.
I just
And
want to say one more thing.
yes, yeah,
IENL, Carol did a strategic planning session with us, and one of the things really that came out was, for us to become more known in the community, not just Study and Stay, but IENL in general. So I think your resources will help us there as well.
Awesome. That's good to hear. And reach out anytime. You said you're based in St. John's?
I'm based in Corner Brook, and
Oh,
my
you're in
colleague
Corner Brook.
is in St. John's. Yeah, but
Okay, perfect.
the majority of our program is virtual because we have
Right.
students spread all across, right?
Okay, excellent. Yeah, reach out anytime. We'll help you any way we can, for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
excellent. Andrew, what's going on in your world? Do you have anything exciting to tell us?
Hey, well, first I want to say, Tiffany, thank you for a great presentation. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Just okay. Um, I attended a regional community conversation in Corner Brook just a few weeks back in October, and I also attended um, a luncheon in Stephenville organized by the Community Sector Council a few weeks ago. So,
Awesome.
so I don't have a whole lot of questions, but um, I just wanted to double check something. The 10 tips for social media session that you offer, is that free or is there a
Yes,
cost?
that's free.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know because sometimes I come across some organizations that could maybe avail of that kind of training. So
Right.
um, yeah,
I
so I'll
think it
keep that in
doesn't hurt
mind.
anyway to like just update yourself sometimes or take part in these things, and you might know everything, or there might be just even one thing that you never thought of before. So it's
Yes,
always
totally
helpful.
agree with you.
Yeah.
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 Thank you.
As for what's going on in my world, well, I guess everything's slowing down a little bit, I guess, after the small business week madness that we just recently had. There
True.
was a lot of sessions, in a short period of time, but lovely, wonderful. I love small business week. Um, um, Slowing down a little bit, however, I guess not really. A committee I'm involved with, the Long Range Small Business Committee, and I sit on that committee as representing Horizon TNL and, kind of a francophone voice or representing Port and that kind of thing. We're doing a fun little challenge right now. It's not as, I guess, not as serious as some of the other things we offer, but we do. It's the second time we've done it, but it's called Best in the Bay. Um, Before we had last March, we had a Best in the Bay Burger Challenge, and now we're having a Best in the Bay Loaded Fries Challenge. So we've got participating restaurants all throughout the region: Port, Bay St. George, Bay St. George South, and anyway, it's kind of meant to be lighthearted and fun and hopefully increase traffic to some of the restaurants during this time. So $1 from every loaded fries goes towards the Salvation Army toy drive. And in some cases now actually we're matching sponsors to the restaurants. So it could be two, three. Actually, I think at Hardery's in Stephenville, there's actually now $4 being donated for each one that's sold. So it's a fun cause and lots of fun creations at all the different restaurants. And like I said, hopefully increases traffic to the restaurants. And if you want to learn more, you can go on the Facebook page, where it's the Long Range Small Business Committee. Um, so yeah, like, follow, all of that great stuff. And um, we do a lot of different projects through that, not just Small Business Week. We used to be only Small Business Week, but we dropped a week from our committee name and and became a year-round thing. So yeah, it's been really busy and lots of fun projects are being done through that committee. So it's really good. It's myself representing Horizon TNL, um, a representative from CBDC Long Range. Um, we have a representative from ACOA and a representative from Women in Resource Development Corporation. So that's our main executive, the core four, we call it. So
Excellent.
yeah.
You guys are really active on social media, on your Facebook anyway. That's what I follow you on, and some really good events, which is really nice to see.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, after the Best in the Bay competition this month, then we'll have our 12 Days of Christmas one. So we got things lined up right into the new year. So
Yeah.
yeah, very
One of the
busy.
ones that I really liked last year, Andrew, they did a send some love to your local businesses at around Valentine's. And it was almost like little testimonials. And you could submit, I love this store because of this, or I love this service because of this. And it was just really, it was so positive. It was just so wonderful to see, all of this kind of love going to the community, from the community. This wasn't somebody nominated you for something. It was just, an everyday person in the community saying, I really love this business because, and it was just, I don't know, it was just so nice to see all these wonderful things, coming through the Facebook feed instead of some of the other negativity that comes through. So,
That's awesome.
yeah. Excellent. Marie, is there anything else you'd like to add? You mentioned that you worked with not-for-profits a fair bit. So I don't know if there's anything else you want to state?
Sure. Well, I was actually hanging out with Andrew at the Small Business Awards in Steveville recently, so that was cool. It was, oh my God, it was so totally crowded. They must have sold out, and it was an interesting night. And aside from that, I've been in sort of learning, research, and planning mode. So I found some, some of the tech that I work with has gone through some big upgrades recently. So it's fun to play with that. And I've discovered a new email newsletter tool, which I don't know how many people here run email newsletters, but the company is called Audienceful, and they've, on the front it probably looks the same to everyone, who would receive an email newsletter, but in the way that they've done it in the back is that it helps to increase deliverability rates. Like I know a lot of people, when you send an email newsletter out to people with a Gmail address, it tends to end up in the promotions tab rather than the main tab. And so these guys are doing stuff that makes it, not guaranteed, but more likely that your email is going to be in the recipient's main tab in their inbox, increases the likelihood that they're going to open that and read it. So that tool is called Audienceful. So I just started playing with it, and I think it's really cool so far.
That's neat. I know the Corner Brook Board of Trade is having all kinds of issues with their emails getting not necessarily blocked, but like you say, kind of being sidetracked, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'll mention that one to Sherry.
They also have resources on their website that can teach you how to improve the deliverability of your emails, because there's quite a number of different things. And I remember reading somewhere else that Gmail just came out with some new rules. So there's a little bit of technical stuff people might need to do behind the scenes. Otherwise, they might find that their emails are going down in terms of deliverability because of Gmail's changes.
Okay, that's good to know. Because you spend all that time. I do a newsletter, and you spend so much time trying to draft it, and then if it just gets lost, it's like,
Yeah.
where did that go? And I mean, mine is more just an awareness and keep my name in front of people versus a hard sell. But it means for some people that is a tool that they're using to try and, get their conversions and get sales out of it. So, it's challenging for sure if they get lost.
I'll pop the link in the chat.
Perfect. Thank you. One of the other things that I would mention, we were talking about funding opportunities. I encourage you to go to Tiffany's website and check that out. But and I know the pot right now is full or is empty. I guess it's been used, however you want to look at it. But CBDC has the Consultant Advisory Services program. I know Linda took advantage of that one when I did their work with them. Um, it's allows you, especially as a not-for-profit, to bring in an expert in a particular area, and there's all different. I think there's 5 different categories. Strategic planning is one of them, but there's also some other pieces there. The community capacity building program is with the provincial government, and if you weren't on that session, we had Jeff Lawler from the government do a presentation on that session, so it's on my YouTube channel. The community capacity building allows you to bring people together, and they'll cover meals and travel and a little bit for a facilitator, and then you can, again, there's a number of buckets of training or categories that you can use to do that. People feel that sometimes you're double dipping, but one's federal and one's provincial, so each program really doesn't look at where you get your percentage that you're putting in. So because they're at different levels, then you can avail of both of those. So they're good things to do as well. I'm really excited, Tiffany. Thank you so much for jumping in and doing this today, because there's several things you mentioned I wasn't aware that you folks
Oh, I'm
do.
glad.
So
Good. Excellent.
yeah, and hopefully for the others that happens as well. So Maria's put in chat the her contact information as well as the newsletter service, audience full, if you have any questions there. Other than that, if no one else has any other comments or questions, I'll give you back some time of your day. And as always, those that follow me know that I will put out a follow-up email to my network, and I'll share the fact that who was online with us and your contact info or ways that they can reach you. And the recording will be up on my YouTube channel once it's processed, and either later today or tomorrow, if anyone wants to go back and check anything out. Other than that, thank you so much for joining us again. If you have topics that you think would be appreciative of this community, let me know, because I'm always looking for ideas for the community connection. So usually I do this one every 2 months, so I'll be setting a date in January. And then several of you also connect with me on the entrepreneur level. So next week is our entrepreneur coffee break. And I have some researchers coming on talking about the project that they did through the Humber Valley Regional Thriving Partnership Program. I don't know, I can never say that whole thing. About accessibility for entrepreneurship training in rural Newfoundland, on the West Coast specifically. So that's my guest next week. We're going to present their research findings on getting training to us entrepreneurs as well. Thank you, Tiffany.
Thanks for having me. It was really nice to meet and see everybody. I hope our paths cross again.
Yes. Well, hopefully you might get some queries from the West until you folks fill that position. So
Yes, please. Anything.
we'll direct to you at this point in time, and then once that person's on board, then that would be good to know.
Awesome. Great. Look forward to it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks. See ya.
Have a great day, everybody.